Are workplace affairs as American as apple pie? Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now. What up? What up? What up? It's your boy JB coming at you live and direct, man. And you know what it is. It's Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the real Cigar Jeff, man. Y'all know the routine. All my information is below in the description, man. Make sure you mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for notifications as soon as you come into the building. And man, y'all know whenever I do a topic like this, our workplace affairs as American as apple pie, I got to bring in the family affair edition. She back once again. Appreciate her sticking in there with me. I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell y'all what she's sipping on tonight, if she's sipping anything at all.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks, JB, for having me back. Yeah, I'm sipping on something with this topic for tonight. So I'm trying something new. Like, I'm always trying to think of something. So I have this Waterloo cherry limeade
Oh,
stuff. So
okay.
we're
Yeah.
gonna see what happens.
What you
But
mix it with?
I mixed it with my goose. But I had to it was missing something. So since I'm trying to get all healthy and whatever.
You put it in the screen. Put it in the screen.
I got this cran cherry.
And
Ocean
she got
spray.
ocean spray, y'all.
I got the
She got
best.
ocean spray. She didn't get the great value.
Not yet.
Walmart brand.
I still got a little bit of change.
I bet that's gonna take when you did a little splash of crayon in that.
No, I think I need a whole glass of crayon.
That Waterloo
But
didn't taste good.
I'm gonna just add it. But see, I'm not used to I'm not used to this type of
Yeah, that
sparkling
flavor,
water. I'm
sparkling
not
water.
used to this. So, but I saw cherry limeade, took me back to my Sonic days. So I'm like,
Yes.
let
Told
me
y'all.
try it. Then I had to
Told y'all.
Americanize it and
Told
dress it
y'all
up.
we more country than a syrup sandwich over here now. We more country as a syrup sandwich.
So you're gonna see
Appreciate you,
me
B.
adding some cherry
Yeah.
limeade some cran cherry every now and then.
And if y'all see her shirt, she said your opinion matter, just not to her. So for all of y'all who think she messing up that Grey Goose, she don't care. So at
Am I
the end of
messing
the
it
day,
up? Is this supposed to be?
that goose don't need no help. That goose don't need no
Yes, it
help, y'all.
does. My taste buds.
Appreciate you being on, brother.
You're welcome.
Glad
You're
you're
welcome.
here, guys. The Family Affair edition is in full effect. And, before we jump in here, y'all know I'm finishing off my box of New World Cameroon by AJ Fernandez. And, of course, y'all see what I'm drinking. Out the merch. But what I'm drinking, last week I brought it to y'all. I had to get my Surfside iced tea, vodka lemonade. Boy, these things hitting. And because I had a little episode yesterday at lunch, I got my little ginger ale in my mug. So y'all be patient with me.
Oh, you got the bubbly.
Y'all be patient with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to press through because I gotta give the people what they want. But let's get into this thing right now, Rhonda. When you got the topic from me the other day, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
I was like, absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it's American. It's apple pie. I saw the little tease that um this news channel did that they had an exclusive.
ABC, yep.
Yeah, with the ADA, and so that was enough for me to watch whatever I could watch of that interview because I I think it's true. I think it's true more than America and we ourselves care to admit. And there's nothing like a little workplace romance because he
Okay.
did use those words. And yes, they needed to get away from the type of trial they were handling. They needed, as you taught us that word. We probably need to have a word for every podcast. Look it up.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. But yeah, like everybody need to get away. Calgon, for those of you old enough.
Yeah, for
Take
all
me
of y'all
away.
who old enough, Rhonda just said, "Cal, God, take me away." Some of y'all ain't old enough, and my younger listeners don't know what that commercial meant. Sitting in that bathtub with that cow god. But it's interesting, Rhonda. I like your take on it. I'm gonna tell you that it didn't really register to me until he said it so nonchalantly. You kind of knew, But it was just like, all right, man, don't nobody. It's kind of like one of them unwritten conversations you just don't have, and how. And again, guys, I wanted y'all to see this because I just did a video on Nathan Wade. If you guys look in the playlist, you'll see I did a video on Nathan Wade. What's wrong with Nathan Wade? Because I thought that thing was starting to die down a little bit. Now he done this video, and look, we over here having a long form conversation with it. Me and Rhonda typically talk about relationships and all kind of stuff objectively. We're not talking about something that's really relevant in the news at the time. We did the transfer portal one, and now we're doing Nathan Wade. Rhonda and I gonna start doing more of those podcasts that's kind of tied into some of these polarizing topics and trending events. But if you guys hadn't seen it, you know, I'm like Rhonda. You know what's going on, but it's just kind of like, all right, nobody says anything about it. But I got a take that I'm gonna do later on in the podcast, and I'm gonna try to get. I got 3 articles I want to share with y'all, and we're gonna try to get through them. I promise you, Rhonda, we're gonna try to get through them. The first one, just for all of y'all who are not aware, I'm over here, and the reason why I'm sharing this article, this is Fox 5 Atlanta. Okay, the only reason I'm doing this is a local affiliate's take on the actual Nathan Wade thing. I'm not doing it off of ABC. I'm not doing it off of NBC, Fox News. This is what the people in Atlanta are getting about this. Nathan Wade opens up about the faniwillis workplace romance as American as apple pie. Rhonda, can you see that?
Yeah, it's big, but I can see it.
Okay. All right. Fulton County Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade has spoken out for the first time about the workplace romance with Fani Willis that thrust him into the national headlines. Okay, the embattled prosecutor was the center of a probe into alleged misconduct. Willis hired Wade as a special prosecutor of the case, but many argued it was because of their romantic relationship, as he wasn't qualified for the job. Now, all of y'all know, right? He was a personal injury attorney and that kind of thing. He had never tried a RICO case. Defendants in this case alleged Willis benefited financially by hiring Wade and did not disclose that they were in a pre-existing relationship when he took the role in 2021. Alleged Willis was paid more than $650,000 for his work and then benefited when Wade used his earnings to pay for vacations that they took together. In March, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee ruled either Willis or Wade must step aside for the case to continue. Hours later, Wade resigned in the interest of democracy. This is what we're going to go on. In an exclusive interview with ABC News yesterday, or I shouldn't say yesterday, Tuesday. By the time y'all see this, it's going to be Friday. But Wade argued that romances between colleagues were as American as apple pie. It happens to everyone, and it happened to the two of us. Impressed by Lindsey Davis over whether he regretted the romantic entanglement, Wade said he regretted the private matter becoming a focus of the case against Trump and the president's co-defendants. I hate that my personal life has begun to overshadow the true issues in this case. Lord Jesus, Rhonda, what you think when you see this brief synopsis?
I agree with him. I don't think anybody want their private affairs to be out here for for everybody's consumption. When you're in a position of handling such big cases, no matter if it is the former president or whoever, celebrities or whatever. No, I could totally understand. And of course it's American as apple pie. It's right up there with baseball. It's American. And so, because the thing about it is, you show me somebody who say that they're so committed, I'm going to show you a cheater. I'm going to show you a cheater. Somebody's going to do something.
I agree with you. I agree. The people who are claiming to be so in love are the ones who got a whole nother life out there.
Well, there's always a persona that you want to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many people want to be seen as, not an upstanding couple or what have you, but workplace romance is a very real thing, man. If people escape it, it is surprising, but there's going to be some flirtation. There's going to be something. Doesn't make it okay, but there's going to be something in the workplace for regular folks as well as people like that in higher positions. It's just a matter of people act on it or not.
It's interesting, guys. When I saw it, I guess for me, I'm really not consumed with the fact that he we're gonna move to the other two articles, but I wanted to get into this because that's the foundation of what we're doing tonight. I wasn't even too concerned that he said it was as American as apple pie. I think this is the same attitude and nonchalantness that got him kicked off the case in the first place, that blew up everything in the first place. Okay, it wasn't one of Fani-Willis's girls that blew this up. It was one of his boys that blew this up. He was the one going all around town telling everybody. Yeah, like, let's be honest, guys. And again, y'all can look down the playlist. I did a video on this Fani-Willis setting black women back and that kind of thing. Y'all can look down the playlist. I've also done some shorter form videos on Fani-Willis when this kind of all went down. I think he just showed you Rhonda's right that there's they're American as apple pie, but it shouldn't be idiots involved in it. Because guys, this is to have a workplace affair, you got to be good at what you do. I'm like, this dude, you know you were going through a divorce. You knew you weren't taking care of your wife after you had been paid $700,000. Your wife was at home not being able to pay the bills and all that while you're out with Fani-Willis. And I know you're going through a divorce and that kind of thing, but you are derailing the case. I'm more impressed with Fani-Willis now after seeing this interview. It wasn't her that blew it up. Now I understand why she had to get rid of him. Because she couldn't have told him it was okay to do this interview, Ron. She was getting on the other side of this thing. Trial was going forward.
He alluded to that in that interview with Lindsay Davis.
Yeah.
He said they probably do not want me even speaking on it now.
Yeah. And I get it. But you done lost 700,000.
You know, even if he was on the come up, like, I don't know his history that well or what he was doing before, other than what you said just a few minutes ago. But I feel like it's very clear that he definitely still wants the spotlight.
Yeah, man.
It's irresistible to him, but at the same time, he doesn't speak negatively of her either. So evidently, it was something that was mutual.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to make sure y'all understand. He said nothing disparaging of her. My biggest problem with him is I see a guy that has no couth. And here's what I mean by that, guys. He's literally talking how he feels. You are going against the former president of the United States, first time in history. Fani-Willis got to clean that up. He got to clean it up. You got to be beyond reproach at that point, because as a defense attorney, why did O.J. Simpson get acquitted? Because the cop who investigated the case had a problem with racism. Mark Furman. We remember this, right? The defense job is to point out all your flaws. And Rhonda, when I saw him, I said, Fani-Willis is still out there talking about the case. Fani-Willis is still out there saying we're going to move forward. Fani-Willis is gone past the whole Nathan Wade situation. She had gotten this thing back on track. And this guy comes out there, and now he's talking about it's American as apple pie. And say that to the person. This is why people didn't like you, because they found out your wife at home, you going through a divorce. Fani-Willis wasn't married, so she didn't have the problem with her is her position. Nathan Wade was not in his position, but also the wife at home. And when he said it's American as apple pie, I'll be honest with you, Rhonda, I appreciate your take, because your take is right. It is American as apple pie. But the people who doing it, they really were a lot more safe and a lot more quiet. Is it getting to a point, Rhonda, where now people don't care that the workplace romance is out there, regardless of if they're in a relationship or not?
People haven't cared since 2016, 2015. People have not cared about stuff like that. At the end of the day, to me, Fani is just doing what every other black woman knows how to do after some stuff go down.
Get back to your business. Get back to your business.
We're going to pick up the pieces and make it do what it do. Keep the main thing the main thing. You caught me falling, but you won't catch me again. I ain't going to slip.
And y'all saw it today. Y'all saw it. They did the black pastors in Atlanta. They had her on the court steps, not the court steps. They had her on the church steps. It was a bunch of black pastors in Atlanta that said, we come to stand behind Fani-Willis. And what's happening, I think that was in direct response to Nathan Wade doing this crazy interview. You did not have to do it now. But I guess I'm going to tell you, in his defense, you were making $700,000 off of this case. You were printing money, and that money gone. Plus, you settled your divorce. he got to do something, Rhonda, to stay relevant. And I don't think he did anything but make himself look more incompetent. Remember, guys, at the crux of this, he was not qualified to have the case. She gave him an opportunity. Can y'all imagine what would have happened to this man's case if he would have won this case against Trump? This was the case that Trump was worried about the most because he couldn't pardon himself if he won because it's a state case. So if he got convicted, there was nothing he could be. If this man would have won this case, he could have written his own ticket. I wanted to go over that with y'all real fast because this is it American as apple pie? But I said, man, me and Ronnie got to discuss some articles because I don't want to get caught up in the Nathan Wade component. That's just what drove it. I had to do some research on this thing.
Oh,
and I said, and you know, since Rhonda told me to do articles with numbers and bullet points,
you
I
don't
can't
have to
just
keep
put.
saying that. You don't have to keep saying that.
Some people don't realize. Some people don't realize, Jeff, man, you just do everything Rhonda tell you.
No,
Yeah, I
he
guess
don't.
you are a little brother. I guess you are a
He
little brother.
absolutely does not.
So, Ron, I'm going to go over here to this first one. So we got two articles that I want to go to, and I want to get to the first one. Let me go over here real fast, guys, and we're going to get into this. And Rhonda, we're going over here to Best Life. We're going over here to bestlife.com. 10 red flags your partner is having an affair at work. Rhonda, can you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Take note of these signs in your relationship, which experts say could indicate infidelity. And the reason I'm doing this, guys, I was expecting Rhonda to have the take she had that it was, yes, it's common as apple pie. It's as American as apple pie. Because everything I saw, I didn't realize how common it is and how much information out there is on it. Okay. So there are several places where extramarital affairs can arise, and I want to stop right there. Guys, the workplace affairs are happening between married people and divorced people. It ain't happening with single people. There are several places that are extramarital affairs. This is why the single person keeps getting promoted. This is why the single person makes the most money in any company.
Mm.
Right? Look at this article, guys. There are several places that extramarital affairs. The divorced person never gets over their marriage. The married person is miserable in their marriage. They meet at work where they're spending 8 to 10 hours a day. So let's put that out there. You agree with that when I say that, Rhonda?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So several places that extramarital affairs can arise, including in online chats or while out in the town with a partner in tow. But affairs can start at work where we spend much of our daily lives. According to expert, it's the number of hours we put in the workplace that can cause coworkers to become close. Your partner might even report having a work wife or a work husband. But when these marriages become romantic, that's where issues arise. So y'all know, go down to the playlist. We just did a podcast on the work husband or work wife causing problems in your relationship. I want to get to these things though. Okay? Through casual conversations, coworkers may discover a shared affinity of a hobby, or they connect griping about workplace frustrations. Okay? These close but platonic emotional bonds with a high level of respect, trust, self-disclosure, and loyalty can evolve into what my former Nebraska colleagues call work spouses. I'm going to go ahead and get to, and I apologize for all these pop-ups, guys. Okay. Number one, how you know they having a workplace affair? Can you see that one, Ron? They pay more attention to their appearance. They pay more attention to appearance. They pay more attention to appearance. If your partner is spending time getting ready in the morning and really putting added effort into appearance, it should send up a red flag. Some people already make their appearance a priority, but if they've gone from not caring to suddenly putting forth extra effort before work, wearing new clothes, extra grooming, or unexpectedly wearing cologne and perfume, it could be a sign they're trying to impress someone at work. What do you think about that, Rhonda, when you hear that one?
I mean, I agree with that too. I'm trying to find something that I don't agree with, but no, I agree with that.
Okay. Now, guys, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? I'm gonna tell you like this. Visual. Make sure, guys, if you're in a relationship, that you don't confuse this with somebody trying to get a promotion, somebody trying to get elevated at their job, right? So I agree with what they're saying, but also know that there's a possibility that the person has to dress different because there's a promotion at their job, They got a mentor who told them to do something different and that kind of thing. But that should be discussed with you. How do you know it's a work affair happening if you don't know the reason why they're dressing up? If a person changes
Mm.
the way they dress, it should be tied to some new opportunity at work. And if they can't tell you that they're working on a new opportunity and what that opportunity is specifically, now it's probably a workplace affair. You agree or disagree with that, Ron, as far as if they change dress, but
No,
they
I
let you know?
disagree. I disagree. A lie is a lie. Cheater is a cheater. I think no matter what,
I'm trying
no
to help
matter
y'all
what,
out, fellas and ladies.
no matter what it is, because look, let's be real. If it is something work related, you are happy to talk about it. To tell your spouse, look, man, I got this new opportunity. It's gonna require this, and this. But most people ain't gonna do that. Like they could probably say it, but no. I
Guys,
believe people out here with other families and they married.
and,
It's
and,
just what
and
it's
guys, let's
saying.
be honest. That's our country is built on that. Our country is built. Ron said people out here with other families. A lot more people related than they know about, and you find out at the funeral,
Yes.
right? But I wanted y'all to see what this Susan Trotter said. She said, "Unfaithful people often become preoccupied with how they look." I ain't never heard that a day in my life.
Mm.
Unfaithful people become preoccupied with how they look. They may lose weight, start exercising more, dress better than usual, even when going to work. They may minimize it when asked about these things, which can be a sign of an affair too. This is why I'm telling you guys: if it's not if it's not an illicit issue, you should be able to tell people why you're doing it. I went
It's
to the
not because
doc,
you turning 40. It's not because you turning 50.
focusing
It
on
ain't
you.
because you drive a Corvette.
Now I can't only get in and out of it though. That is, if you see me getting in and out of it, you would understand. But I'm completely overweight. I go to the gym, but I'm completely overweight, guys. Number two, they spend more time at work. They spend more time at work. For most of us, once we're done with our work day, we want to head home and relax. But if your partner isn't being faithful, they may choose to spend additional time at the office. They might head in a bit early or find an excuse to work a little later to spend time with a colleague in or out of the workplace. Manley notes that this shift is one of the biggest flags, especially if a big project is not in progress. Go back to what I said, guys. You should be able to share a big project with specificity to your significant other, to your wife, and to your husband. If you can't do that, everybody knows what it is. Just because someone is working longer hours,
And the
go
spouse
ahead.
needs to be interested. The spouse needs to also be
Ooh,
interested.
ooh. Oh, guys, that's a big one. Y'all got to know most spouses hate your job.
That's why I
Most
said
spouses
the
hate your
problem ain't the
company.
job, it's the relationship. Shoot.
Yeah. See, he or she hates you, and they hate anything that you good at. And a lot of people who having workplace affairs are actually good at their job. It ain't the people who don't give a damn. Workplace affairs. Look at what this thing. You're working on a big project. Fani Willis and Nathan Wade were prosecuting Donald Trump. That ain't no small project. They had to be spending 16 to 18 hours a day together. So the reason why it took so long for this to come out is because they were actually working on a big project. He could probably lie and say, "Look, I'm investigating the president. I ain't gonna be home. I'm prosecuting the president. I ain't gonna be home." It
And some
doesn't mean
stuff
that,
you probably can't say. It's probably some things you can't
and,
go
and that's
into.
what.
I guess it just depends on the type of work you do.
But Ron, I want you to see this paragraph right here, guys. Just because someone, I want y'all to see this. Just because someone is working long hours, it doesn't mean they're cheating. Noting that they may actually be working on a larger initiative or trying to earn extra money. Guys, if you at work more, somebody should see more money coming to the house. Man or
They
female.
are just a different house.
There you go. Y'all Rhonda on one tonight. She on one tonight.
It's the goose. It's the goose.
Goose already kicked in. Here's the number three, guys. They changed their work hours to or attend more events. They changed their work hours or attend more events. I want y'all to get in here. Sudden and unexpected changes in work hours, going in early, working late, or attending unusual business trips. Okay. Your partner may suddenly start working longer hours, change their schedule, or be focused on work projects that never seemed as important before. Work may take on more significance in these and other ways, including attending more work events, both social and professional. What you think about that, Rhonda, with the hours?
Well, I could understand. I mean, that's a good perspective to do so because, like we say this all the time, what you focus on will grow.
Mm-hmm.
right? And so if there is something that's a little more appealing about the job, meaning because there's another person there, your work wife or your work husband, yeah, we could find reasons to stay late now. We could find reasons to to
And that's, but Rhonda, I think you're making a
to
good
be
point.
together.
If you're a good employee, this can only, guys, this can only happen if you have responsibility at your job, right?
Oh yeah, it has to be somebody. Yeah, you got to be
You can't,
important at your job.
you got to be important because otherwise this line ain't gonna work if you on the bottom level because they know
Yeah.
you get on, you get off.
Well, yeah, they
You
don't
can't,
care, and you're
they
gonna get
don't
on,
care.
and you're gonna get off.
This
Yeah,
is
you ain't
typically
gonna.
this is typically your salaried employees that are just fuck. They just going at
Say what?
it. They going at it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you guys, I agree with this one. And what I mean by that, guys, you should be able to explain every change in your life to the person you in the house with. You should be able to change. You should be able to explain every change. Like if I get a new project to work on, back when I was in corporate America, you came home and bragged about that because you were chosen. Everybody was going for that job, and you got it. That's a big deal. And again, if you don't hear any details about why that person late, that ain't good.
I'm here,
Number
ain't I? I'm here, ain't I? My
There's a
bad.
decrease. No, you good. There's a decrease in emotional intimacy. This is one I disagree with. This is what I disagree with. If there's a
You
decrease in
would.
intimacy, your partner, it can spell trouble or indicate infidelity, and a workplace affair is no different. A significant dip in emotional intimacy or connection could indicate that your partner might be emotionally invested elsewhere. They may seem distant, less interested in your day-to-day life, or less enthusiastic about shared activities. You may also notice a sudden awkwardness or lack of comfort during intimate moments. Emotional withdrawal can be a subtle sign, but if it's coupled with other red flags, it could point towards an affair at work. Okay. What do you think,
100%
Rhonda,
agree
when you
with
hear
this.
that?
100% agree with this.
Yeah, I
Um,
100% disagree with this one.
exactly. You would, because you you don't. Emotions are not your thing. You ain't gonna do all of that. But it really is. If I didn't see it every day in the type of work I do, that the emotional disconnect or lack thereof that people have is huge. It's huge for a lot of people who may not be um strong. I'm gonna just use that word in certain areas because
Mm-hmm.
we're human beings. We're supposed to be connected to each other. Um, and so yeah, this lack of emotional intimacy doesn't necessarily mean sex. It's just having that connection with the person that you used to have, and it's different. That does do a number on people, and it could make you go where it ain't no different when your Wi-Fi sucks. You try to
Mm-hmm.
walk all around the house trying to find a good signal. Let me stand right here. Remember them days how you had to do
Mm-hmm.
that with your phone and stuff? Right? Because you're gonna go where the signal is stronger. So you're gonna go where
Yes.
the emotions are stronger. So I 100% agree with this. And you watch people that don't have it, they could end up being sad, depressed, not even knowing how to communicate, right? Or feeling like woe is me or pity me and all of this. Like they don't
Mm-hmm.
see their part in the emotional disconnect. But that's 100% right.
But see, I disagree with it because if you're looking for emotion, people can fake it. People can fake emotion
Only so
all day long,
long. Only so long.
right? And here's the deal, though, right? And I just highlighted this one. If your partner seems to be more preoccupied and not interested in the relationship the way they used to be, this could be a sign of something going on with your partner. Might be an affair, might be burnout, or might be something else. Okay? Might be an affair, might be burnout, or might be something else. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say to you guys. One of the things that happens is if you didn't notice this was happening with your partner in the first place, if you didn't know your partner was burnt out in the first place, that's what I'm telling you guys. This is where the workplace affairs only happen at a home that's deficient in what matters to the person. The
But if
person
you're
does not.
overwhelmed, if you're overwhelmed at home, that's an emotion. If you're overwhelmed, or let's just say you are overwhelmed at work because of this big project. Your work wife or work husband is going to see that and recognize it. Your work wife
Mm-hmm.
or home husband and home, which is sad that I got to separate the two. Like they not going to see that because it's just the norm. It's just the norm. So I do
Or they
believe
don't.
like
Or they don't care. Or they don't care, guys.
most bottom
There's
line they don't care.
there's not
They
two more
tired of your
disconnected
stuff
people. Yes.
and it's just like okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you overwhelmed, whatever.
And
So you
remember
can't have emotional intelligence there.
and again, guys, I just disagree with it because at the end of the day, it's not an emotional thing. why a person is going to get a work wife or a work husband or having that workplace affair,
Of
right?
course, it's an
And one of the
emotional
things
thing.
but here's the deal: you're connecting over a purpose, and purpose is not emotional. Purpose is here's where I want to be.
Purpose
And
is emotional.
okay, that's gonna be another podcast for another day. Y'all can see right now now it's really the family affair because we disagreeing. Let's go to the next. They're more secretive about their job or work. They're more secretive about their job or work. If your partner's suddenly more secretive about their work conversations or reluctant to share details about their day, this could be signs of a potential inappropriate relationship with a coworker, right? Now, this is pretty simple, right? But one of the things you got to understand, one of the key components of a relationship is the ability to confide in one another. And that's a lie. The moment you confide in a person, the moment you confide in that person loses confidence and faith in you. You shouldn't be confiding in the person at home. The person at home can't help you. You better be confiding in a mentor, somebody who's going to be truthful with you, keep you balanced, right? If you're trying to go to somebody so they can feel sorry for you and y'all connecting because you just want to complain and y'all don't want to have to adjust, yeah, that's a workplace affair. But I'll tell y'all right now, if I go through anything, I'm calling one of my mentors who's going to tell me, Jeff, you suck, do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not running into the arms of somebody else because that ain't gonna do nothing but make it worse. What do you think about this one, Ron?
Well,
Let me put it back up so you can see it.
this one, I mean, this one can go either way because, like, society and church and all this stuff teaches you, like, oh, your wife or your husband should be your best friend and blah 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 blah
Yes,
blah,
biggest
all
lie,
those lies, right?
biggest
And
lie.
so here you are torn because you know they're not going to get it, but I'm supposed to tell this person something that they don't really know or don't really care about,
Mm-hmm.
unless they're in the same field, right? And so it's no need for me to waste my breath on something. If you don't get it, it's easier for me to vent or air out something to somebody else that gets what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it's just what it is. But we get taught the lies. But what I know is people love to be lied to.
Yes.
So if that
You
works
just
for them,
preach. You just preach, guys. The workplace affair is happening for people who love to be lied to. Workplace affairs ain't happening with people who tell the truth. Workplace affairs are happening because the person at home don't want to hear the lies no more. The workplace affairs is happening because that person at home, yeah, they don't believe a word you say. And you may be a different person at home than you are at work, but the lies work at work. They don't work at home.
yeah.
I'm glad Rhonda said that. Let's get to number 6 because I want to get to this next article. Number 6, they're more protective about their work communications. We kind of went over that one, right? But at the end of the day, guys, anything you're doing at work, unless you had to sign a confidentiality agreement and all that kind of stuff, if asked, I'm not telling you willingly share, but if asked, you should be able to give details about what you're working on. Okay, and if you had to sign an NDA or confidentiality agreement, make sure your significant other at home knows that. What do you think about that, Ron?
I mean, yeah, if it requires that, yeah, because a low level employee is not going to have all that going on. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll have to be somebody with there's somebody at their job or in their career.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go there now. The only one. The only one I want to stay on this one. I want y'all to see this. This is the worst thing that can happen to people. I want y'all to see this for all my viewers. A pattern of emoji use, hearts or winks, can indicate that a partner is not being true to you.
Oh
Guys,
my
one of the
God.
things guys, let me tell you, I only use one emoji, and that's the crying laughing one. I'm gonna send you that crying laughing emoji one, because when somebody send me something funny, right? I saw Instagram reel the other day that said people are getting tired of me. How do I know? I send them 6 funny reels, but they only reply after they see all 6 instead of sending me 6 different replies back,
Response.
right?
That's
So
too much. 6 is
it's
too
too
much.
much, right? 6. So guys, if you are in a workplace relationship, you're using these emojis. And what does it say? A pattern of emoji use, right? So it shouldn't be, if I look at your text thread, I'm seeing all kinds of emoji. Most people don't have one emoji that they overuse. And I'm old school still. I'll still use the semicolon and smile and the parentheses,
Oh,
right?
so you out here winking.
No. I don't use the wink one now because you know the wink one is the semicolon. I use the colon and the thing because if you don't, the emoji, I use the crying emoji. I ain't out here
Mm-hmm.
winking because I'm a grown man. I don't wink. If you,
Okay.
right, I don't wink. If you ask me to wink right now, I couldn't. But I wanted y'all to see this. They looking at the text threads, and for all y'all out there who using WhatsApp, look at all these court cases that they picking out the WhatsApp messages. Everybody who thinks it's encrypted wants to get subpoenaed. Okay, go to the next one, Rhonda. Unless you got something to say about the emojis.
No, I'm good because I hardly use them.
Okay. All right. Number 7, they avoid sex. Number 7, they avoid sex. If your partner is involved with someone else at the workplace, they may also come home and not be interested in sex or physical intimacy. Sometimes when people are involved with somebody else, they may become avoidant of physical intimacy with their partner. They may make up excuses for not being interested in sex, and it may be confusing for you if it's a sudden change. What do you think about that, Ron?
Well, that's a telltale sign. Like that's part of being in a relationship. So when that declines or changes, so from a woman's standpoint, sometimes it don't even have to be that we're cheating. We're just tired of your shenanigans and the stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So you just tired of all the mess, man. Like we tired now. We just tired. And especially when you know what it is, whatever parameters you set up for your relationship or what have you. Yeah, and then you go, man, ain't nothing. How I'ma crave you if that's how you act? How I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
want to
Mm-hmm.
be with you if that's how you act? How am I gonna want to even engage or be intimate with you if there's nothing appealing about where we are and what we're doing now? Like, you know what I'm saying? So with a case like that, and it's like just because I'm married to you, this is how it's supposed to be, where it's not respectful both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't go both ways. But then here I am supposed to sleep with you and be ready to show you physical intimacy. No, that that
And
that doesn't work.
the only thing I'm going to say about number 7, guys, is I'm glad that it's number 7. I'm glad that it's number 7. I'm glad that it's toward the end of the list. Because by the time you get to number 7, it's already over. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that, guys, is that you're going to find some guys are motivated by sex, right? Some guys are motivated by intercourse. Every man is not, though. And I think one of the things that people got to realize about these workplace affairs, this only happens when the relationship has no other foundation. You see what I'm saying? I'm glad that they put it number 7. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it was already a problem before you get to number 7. I'm just glad this ain't one of
Yeah,
these articles where it was first. You see what I'm saying? Or I'm going to look for somebody because you ain't give me none or that kind of thing. I think that one of the things that is happening is right now, people are having intercourse first and then trying to get to know the person second. And at the end of the day, if your foundation is intercourse, at the end of the day, that relationship already over anyway. I said it before. You got to do 3 things, man: eat, drink, or smoke. Those 3 things you got to do with somebody. If you can do those things, ain't gonna be no workplace affairs. Ain't gonna be no workplace affairs. And again, people don't understand relationships don't have a foundation anymore, Ron. Most people got married. Why? So they can have intercourse. And they thought that they could have unlimited intercourse without going to hell. You said it earlier,
or they
Ron.
done had an
Church
oops
taught me that.
baby and now we got to
Yeah.
get married, or
Now we got to get married. Church, see, and that's what's happening, guys. This thing right here is letting us know that it's number 7 on the list. It's number 7 on the list, guys. Okay? Let's go to number 8. They seem overly close with a coworker. You ain't gonna find this out to the Christmas party. All right? I'm gonna make that one easy. You ain't gonna find this one out to the Christmas party. Regularly mention a specific colleague, especially if there was no mention of this person before. Right? It's also probably not a sign if your partner doesn't want to meet this coworker. And they may be evasive if you press for details. When your partner seems overly increasingly close to a coworker and you are left out of the relationship when they're at special events, it may be a sign of an affair. Guys, and this is a big one, right? This is a big one. You got to understand that you shouldn't be mentioning anybody's name unless you're mentioning the project too. Right? You should be mentioning the project too.
mm.
Because if there's no specifics with mentioning the person's name, and your significant other has to know exactly what their role is, yeah, this article is telling you the truth. Some of y'all have gotten these workplace affairs, and you're reckless. You're reckless. What do you think about that one, Ron?
Of course, if you have a workplace affair, that's reckless. It's no different than driving 65 and a 35. That's considered reckless driving. It is reckless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, right? But if something is missing in your life, you're not being fulfilled in a certain place or what have you, stuff like this is bound to happen. And when you got something that's high pressure and important, and that person, the only people that understand are the ones in your workplace that's in the same boat as you, yeah.
Guys, let me tell you this. I'm glad Rhonda just said that.
We can do that. And on some level, you feel like you could get away with it because of the level that you are.
Your workplace relationship shows you can manage a relationship. Your workplace relationship is better than your home relationship. Why? Your workplace relationship is based on work. If you and the person you with ain't based on work, that relationship gonna fail. This is what we end up saying. Oh no, I want somebody I can go home to, let my hair down. No, that relationship gonna fail because the workplace relationships last, guys, because it's about work. If your relationship is not tied to work or tied to some set of purpose outside of physical intimacy and emotion, when you go to your job, none of that exists. Your job gives you deadlines. Your job gives you rules. Your job gives you a purpose. Your job gives you activities. Your job gives you projects to work on. Why aren't you doing that at home? I don't get it. Number 9, Rhonda. They're late more often than usual. What do you think about this one? What do you think about that one, Ron?
You're not doing it at home because it's not a requirement. We as humans don't move.
Let's see. I done moved on to number 9. You still talking about number 8?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I missed the whole, like you were gone for like 10 seconds. So I don't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're late. Number 9 is they're late more often than usual. Go ahead and talk about this one. We'll come back to number 8.
More often. Oh, no, we don't have to come back to number 8. Late.
Okay.
We got to get to the other article. Late more often than usual. I don't know. I just feel like this is the article is redundant, or some of these can be put into the same thing. I don't. Of course you're going to be late more often. Again, it's something that you want to do. Again, know when somebody wants to do something and if they want to do it with you.
Rhonda, can I say this?
The reason. Yeah.
Can I say this one to you though, Ron? If you got somebody who late all the time, they letting you know they want to embarrass you. They want to get caught. They so done with you that they know you know what they doing. See, guys, your relationship was already over if there's a workplace romance. Don't act like you're shocked. If a person starts being late, look at what this guy said. Being on time is a common courtesy. Right? But all of us are guilty of running late from time to time. But if you show up late all the time, citing work-related engagements, proceed with caution. Y'all got to understand, once the person starts being late and could care less if they are meeting deadlines with you, it's officially over. It's officially over. And I think that this is the only reason I like this being in here is that if I'm going to be late all the time, I'm letting you know I'm done with you. Yeah. That's why for me, I got to make sure I'm on time all the time because I don't want nobody in my life feeling like they with me, but I don't care about their schedule and my schedule and our schedule together. Number 10, this is where I disagree with her. Your gut is telling you something is wrong. Right? If I go into Sprouts right now, they got a whole section on gut health. Some of y'all going with your gut and your gut is unhealthy. Your gut ain't balanced.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ron, what you say?
Everybody's gut is unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. Right?
That's why we stay longer than we supposed to and stuff.
But see, don't ever do nothing with your gut. Because here's what happens, guys. Your gut is where all of your problems fester. Your gut is where all of your inadequacies fester.
Well, that's where you got to address it. You have to face it.
Yeah. So if your gut, if your gut is not gotten anything right until the other 9 have been done, your gut has let you down already.
No, your gut, if it is unhealthy, lets you know that you don't know how to take care of yourself, let alone take care of somebody else. Your gut lets you know your insecurities. It lets you know where you fall short. It does all of that, and that's why people fall short in their relationships. We're not gonna
That's what
take.
Rhonda. That's what Rhonda, guys. That's why I want y'all to listen to what Rhonda's saying. Okay, your gut means you need to work on you. Don't let your gut tell you what this fool doing. You done lost that. Go work on you. See, at the end of the day, guys, what he or she coming home to? Are they coming home to open arms? Are they coming home to a purpose? Are they coming home to something better than what they're
Or
going to?
full of poo, full of.
See,
That's what they
guys,
come home to.
that's what I think, Ron. Don't listen to your gut, man. Your gut got you into the relationship that ain't working. Right? You need to start having some tangible things that you do with relationships. Because that's why a lot of people don't understand that relationships are harder than your job will ever be. Because your relationship don't do what your job does. Your job got a setup, your job got structure around it. And if your job run out of work for you to do, what do they do? They send you home. You're not gonna stay here and milk the clock and ruin this company. They send you home and make you clock out.
Like I saw a meme yesterday. And I almost sent it to you, but I was like, Rhonda, this ain't the day to be sending that. And it was on the back of a truck, and it said, "No wife, happy life." So you know how you get into the comments, and somebody said, "Well, I need to make one on husband," and the person was like, "Go ahead, I'll wait," because ain't nothing gonna rhyme with husband, like, you know what I'm saying. And so, because I hate that slogan, happy
Yep.
wife, happy life. I hate that. That's a whole bunch of bull. And so, and I don't care who agree with it or not. And so, but I know a lot of people operate like that, and then they toe up on the inside.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's mm-mm.
And guys, what I'm gonna do with this one, because I want to spend time on that 10. Rhonda, what I'm gonna do with this one right here, 15 signs your employees are having an office romance.
Not
15 signs.
15.
Now, Rhonda, I'm gonna just go through these 15. I'm gonna just
Okay,
let y'all see them, then
because
we're
it's
gonna
probably
come
gonna be
back and
similar. Okay,
yeah, they're gonna be similar, and then we're gonna finish out by discussing this, okay, guys?
okay.
So, and all these will be linked in the description. Y'all can come yourself, right? Okay. So, what does it say? Sorry, hold on. Let me go here. Don't have birds do it, bees do it, and even employees do it, right? You think people have enough to do when they are at work, but obviously they don't, as they spend a huge amount of time gossiping about each other. And nothing is juicier than other people's love lives, especially when it's supposed to be a secret. Okay? There's no need to do anything as unethical as that. Just watch these 15 telltale signs that an office love affair is brewing. Let's go through it, Rhonda. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Not all of it. I just see the legs touching.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Number 1, they avoid eye contact. Uh-oh. Hold on. They avoid eye contact. Can you see it, Rhonda?
Yeah.
Okay. They avoid eye contact. Number 2, if it'll come up, they never leave the office together. Martha says, I'm out of here. Making sure everybody in the office can know. They never leave office together. All right. Number 3, they got a lot of overtime. Now, guys, I do my payroll. And anybody who got overtime, they got to explain to me why they got overtime. But I like this one. They're putting in an awful lot of overtime. Number 4, you feel like you're invading a private party when you go around them. They feel like they got in their own world. Number 5, they keep coincidentally showing up in the same places. Number 6, they start fiercely defending each other. Number 7, their vacation and sick days keep matching up. Number 8, their tastes have changed. Their tastes have changed. Number 9, they both look great. What does this tell you about your person at home? How does the person at home look, Ron?
Ugly. Tacky.
Number 10, their office doors are always closed. Why am I going there with this one, guys? I told y'all at the beginning of the podcast, these ain't no low-level people where this is happening. Only people at the business and office are important people. right? The only people at the office with office, the only people at the company with offices are important people. You ain't doing this if you work in the cubicles. Number 11, you know the strange going-ons in the parking garage.
Mm. Okay.
Yes, Lord. They both tend to disappear at the same time. Number 13, they drive to work together. They drive to work together. Number 14, they don't actually seem to get any work done.
Mm.
Realize this is why you gotta be able to be specific about what you're doing and showing completion. And number 15, you get an invitation to the wedding.
Oh Lord.
Rhonda, I had to do this.
I
Is
don't know
from
why.
Rhonda, allbusiness.com. You get an invitation to the wedding. Guys, this thing is real. When I saw this article, at this point, they are leaving what they had at home based on work. And the reason they got to get married is because at the end of the day, one of them probably going to get fired. So they got to get married because of what happened. Somebody going to be fired. So somebody, if the person getting fired, one of them got to go. One of them got to go. So they get married to make it seem like it wasn't no going on in the parking garage. What you think about this article, Ron?
I mean, it gives a little different spin on bringing the comedy to it, which is also a lot of truth to it. And so, I think from that standpoint, yeah, it was a good article to bring up. But yeah, it took you from the beginning all the way to the end. They just didn't include the divorce part.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be 2 years later, but it just shows you that this is like what that man said wasn't a lie. It's the truth.
Rhonda is so common.
Yeah.
It's so common, right? And I didn't realize that ain't nobody keeping it secret anymore. Where we came up, if somebody got a relationship going on, you don't say nothing about it as long as it don't affect your check. As long as it doesn't affect what you got going on at work, you could care less.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, man, this is more of a minority thing. But I remember when I got my first job, 13 years old, washing dishes. You go to that job, you just do what they tell you and don't get into no mess. People ain't doing that at the job no more.
Well, because the mess is for the grown ups, the grown folks.
Mm-hmm. The mess is, and you don't realize right now, guys, COVID really turned over a lot of things. More divorces happened because people couldn't get to their workplace. And if you didn't have that offset to be able to balance out your problems at home, after COVID, don't nobody wanna be in a relationship at home no more. They still desire work relationships. They don't want to be at home relationships. What do you think, Rhonda, when you hear me say that?
I don't think people really want to be in relationships at all. Not that requires them to show up and be present. But if it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be fun, and we could like do what we do and you go your way, I go mine, and we get together when we want to. I think people are open for that. But not for
Mm-hmm.
something serious. I think those serious relationships are done. Like I don't see no need for it for a lot of people. It just doesn't it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Everything points to that. And at the end of the day, if you're a man and you can't afford a woman, ain't no need for you to be with her anyway. It's gonna always end up in divorce.
And it's so funny. I think Rhonda just preached right there. Because what it come down to, guys, if you good at your job, if you're good at your job, more than likely your home life is a wreck.
Oh yeah.
And
There's
if
no
you're
work
good,
life balance.
if you're good at your job, your home life is a wreck. Okay, and the person at home knows that. Okay, and so this is why when people go into these workplace relationships, they're looking for somebody who's going to celebrate them for what they're good at. Because at home, you ain't good at nothing. Whether you the male or the female, y'all always fighting,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you go to work, though, people are working toward a common cause. Now you had children at home, and that makes it worse because now you done brought a child into a relationship with no purpose. We just got married out of tradition so we wouldn't have sex and go to hell. Right? This is literally when you ask people why they got married. But if you ask them what they wanted to do work-wise, if y'all got a person who's good at their job, they can't shut up talking about their job.
Mm-hmm.
They can't shut up talking about their job. So when I saw this and I said at the end, it said you get an invitation to the wedding. That's how quick office romances. Y'all got all these men out here who ain't proposed to you. Y'all been dating forever and all this. At work, look how quick it happens.
Yeah.
Because if you can find a purpose, it's going to happen. Rhonda, what's your closing statements for the night?
Look, you get somebody and escape, romance them, they're gonna be down for a workplace romance. Like I'm here for anything. I can see people just saying like, hey, if this is gonna be spontaneous, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's as American as apple pie, as that guy said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's my take on it. I just don't. If people lying to themselves if they don't think that's not true. Like it's just what it is.
Well, it's funny. That's Rhonda's takeaway. Because my takeaway is don't ruin something that you're good at. Don't ruin something that you're good at. If you're going to do the workplace affair, be just as good at it as your job. Don't neglect your house. Be just as good at it as you are at your job, as you are at your role. Because once you start having a workplace affair, you can't slip. You've just created more burden for you, more stress for you. Because now you managing multiples. And a lot of y'all ain't ready for that. And just because the work relationship is going well, that lets me know the whole relationship is out of control. And that's where a lot of people are missing it. You always got to make sure home ain't neglected if you're going to do this. And if you can't do both, you don't need to be in it. Because if it's as common as apple pie, we got to start accepting the fact that, damn, if it's that common, people need to be better at it. Right? So driving is common. Okay, so I need to get better at driving. Right? You just said about 65 and 35 is working driving. Right? Mm-hmm. So now you got to understand, I got to be better at driving. If y'all gonna try to do this, if y'all in these workplace relationships, you better be better at it. Because you should be winning at both. Because if you lose at one, the other one over two. Because all you do is go from the frying pan to number 15, you got married again. And that same thing that happened. Because you go from the workplace, because she can't be there if y'all married. Unless you own the company. But that's my takeaway from it, man. Y'all know what it is. This is Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff, man. Y'all do me a favor. Look below in the description. Support the channel. Get the merch. Get down in the comment section, man. Rhonda and Jeff over here tripping. Or we on to something, man. Let us know what y'all think down in the comments, man. We appreciate the people who agree. Appreciate the people who disagree. If you hadn't already, mash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for notification. Rhonda, remind them where they can find you on the socials.
On Instagram at RNBLMBT.
Man, and y'all know what it is. Until next time, we gon' holler.